Does it seem like there are maybe a million golf rangefinders in the marketplace today? You're not alone if you feel that way, and in the moments ahead, I'm going to help you narrow down your choice a little bit by sharing with you the 5 things I most like about the new Cobalt Q Z6 rangefinder, as well as a couple of things I wish they had done differently. All of that straight ahead. Hello friends, Bill Hobson here. Thanks for joining me as we take an up-close look at the Cobalt Q Z6 rangefinder. It's the newest entry, I think, into a really crowded rangefinder marketplace. And this one does have a lot of features packed into it. So in the moments ahead, I'm going to share with you the 5 things I most like about this and a couple of things that I wish they had done differently. So first and foremost, let's take a look at it. The boxing, the packaging is really nice. It's really fairly simple as well, because after we take off the slip cover and pull off the top of the box, you get through some of your brochures, your stickers, and a cleaning cloth. We have all those things in here. We come to the basics that I think you're probably familiar with, no matter which brand of rangefinder you use, because everybody's used to the ubiquitous case. It's got the carabiner on the back, so you can put this right on your bag if you're carrying. It's also got the elastic, the bungee closer, so that if you want to keep this on that bag, but not have to zip it and unzip it every single time, you can just, during your round, keep it closed with that. But of course, the real magic and the big question you have is, another rangefinder review. What could he possibly be showing us that we don't already know? That's kind of the cool part of what's happening here with the Cobalt Q Z6. They've got some things on here that I haven't seen anywhere else. So let me kind of dig into the features by sharing with you the 5 things that I like the most about this, having just taken it out of the box long enough to give it a quick run through outside in the winter, right? So I have not been to the golf course with this as of yet because there's, I don't know, 4 inches of snow outside. We'll take it outside for sure in the springtime so we can test out some of the unique features. But I did run it through its paces. And just want you to know, there are some things that are really quite impressive about the Q Z6. First of all, it's hefty. I know you can't tell that on a video, but it's hefty. It's not cheap. It's not flimsy. There are some rangefinders that I've reviewed actually in the past that are very, very lightly, cheaply made out of plastic. They usually are coming in from the other side of the world, and you can probably pick one up for $150, $140, and it's not going to last you very long. Although you may get accurate measurements from it, it's not built for the long haul. So the first thing I really like about the Q Z6, the quality build. The housing is also waterproof, so you don't have to worry about being out in the rain, and it really feels built to last. The second thing I really like about the Q Z6, they didn't make up this term, but I did. I call it the no doubt slope indicator. So here on the side, your slope is activated by flipping this switch up or down. All right, so it's pretty simple. You know, there are some rangefinders where you have a slider switch. On this one, it pops up and down. And when the unit is powered up, there is a bright red light that indicates that you are using the slope mode. Now, why does this matter? Well, because it takes away all of the question marks over whether or not you had slope on. Not only do you see the bright red light outside here as the indicator, but if you were able to look inside the viewfinder, you would see a very clear indicator that says slope. So there's no doubt, and frankly, there's no excuse for you to be using it in a competition where it's not allowed. Always make sure you check the local rules, make sure that you're in compliance. But if you are able to use slope, this is the way to go, and your opponents or your playing partners will never have to wonder whether or not you're using slope. They don't have to look over and see a specific indicator on a slider. If there's a bright red light facing them, you're using slope. So I like that for feature number 2. Feature number 3 is really cool, and it's also one point of, I guess, a little bit of frustration. Doing reviews of rangefinders, and there are a lot of us who do these things, I haven't seen yet anybody find a way to show you the visual that your eye actually sees inside the viewfinder. But here on the Q Z6, this blue dial adjusts the brightness for whatever you're seeing for the red data points that you're seeing inside the viewfinder. It's really cool. It can go down to being very, very faint, or it can get, I mean, bright, bright red, like Kenny Rogers' roasters in the Seinfeld episode. So just know that if you have a kind of a preference or a proclivity for how bright you like your images to be, that's what this dial does. And I kind of like that, so you can customize the intensity of the data readout. Now, the fourth thing that I really like about the QZ6 is activated here by this blue slider on the top. This is your zoom, okay? I've used some great rangefinders, the ones that you see on the tour, very famous brand names over the years, and I've never had one with a zoom on it. This goes from 6x to 12x magnification, and it lets you choose your view based on the target conditions. If, for instance, you're trying to get the distance to the flag from 230, but there's this tree that's kind of hanging over in the way and it keeps kind of catching you in a misread, and you want to get a better look at what the hazards are like up in front of the green. Does that creek go all the way up at front? What's the backside of the bunker look like? And with your naked eye, you're having a hard time seeing that. And with a normal rangefinder, you're having a hard time seeing that. With the QZ6, all you have to do is zoom in up to 12x, and it gives you a much better likelihood of being able to capture the distance to the actual flag as opposed to picking up something nearby. Really like that idea. And for what it's worth, if you want to use this off the golf course for long distance measurement, there's actually a tripod thread on the bottom of the QZ6. I haven't seen that on other rangefinders. This is clearly intended for golfers and other outdoor activities, perhaps hunting or bird watching or whatever it is you're into. If you have a tripod, you can actually thread it here on the bottom. So the adjustable optical zoom is the fourth thing that I'm really impressed with the QZ6. The fifth thing is one that it's hard to demonstrate in the studio, but it's called the PinSense and Surge technology. It gives you a little jolt, a little vibration to confirm that you're actually locked in on the pin, not the tree behind it. How many times have you had a rangefinder that you've used where you thought for sure you had the number to the flag, you hit your shot and it's a mess. It's nowhere close. And as it turns out, you're actually measuring the distance to the trees behind. The PinSense and the Surge technology, which is present in some other rangefinders, by the way, in different trademarked names. But the concept is you're on the flag and you feel it. Let me throw in a quick bonus thing that I really like about the QZ6. That'll bring us to a solid half dozen attributes. And that is that they've added the magnet here on the backside. I know that that's present in a lot of other rangefinders, but it wasn't in previous iterations from Cobalt. And for those of you who ride in carts a lot, I know that you like to take this out of the case, stick it to the cart, and just be able to grab it and go and stick it back there and make sure it's secure. I've walked around and tested this on a number of surfaces. It is a very secure magnet, and that's a really good idea that they added it to this very robust QZ6. I'd hate to think that they did all these other things, but didn't have a magnet involved in it. So that's the sixth, and a little bonus from us for the things we really like about the QZ6. Now, to have an honest review, I've got to give you a couple of things that I kind of wish were different. Number one, the more that you zoom in, the steadier a hand you're going to need to lock in the target. Things can get a little bit shaky as you magnify beyond 9x. It's still solid, you're still going to get the pin, it's still very stable and usable, but it's a little bit more of a challenge to hold steady a tightly magnified image. And I don't know if there's something that they will do in future iterations to help smooth that out, but as I was testing it outside in the snow and going on targets that were quite a ways off in the distance, I can zoom in, and by the way, you zoom in, you adjust your focus up here, and you get a really clear picture. I mean, really clear. But if you're trying to get specific on a target, it gets a little bit shaky the tighter in you get. I know that's the nature of the magnified beast, but at some point I'm going to guess technology will come along to smooth that out a little bit. And the second thing that I do wish were different about the Cobalt Q Z6 is its price. It comes with a lot of features, and those features come with a fairly hefty price tag. It's in the range of $595 as of this review. If you're a serious golfer and you really understand the marketplace for golf technology, then the QZ6 price tag probably won't sound off any alarms or scare you away, but it's definitely not the beginner rangefinder, right? They're not pretending that it is, by the way. I just think that we're getting to a high enough price point that it might give some golfers pause. It is loaded with features. I can justify the price tag, but I'm also going to justify the reality that they could probably bring it down $50 to $75 and find a much bigger slice of the market. Cobalt is a direct-to-consumer brand. You're not going to see a lot of advertising for it nationally. And as I said at the beginning, this is built to last. It's packed full of features. And I'd give it 2 enthusiastic thumbs up. And if you are interested in this, all you need to do is take a look in the description below for some links that we've provided that could help save you a couple bucks along the way. Thanks for watching. Thanks for investigating the Cobalt Q Z6 rangefinder. I hope you'll hit the subscribe button and join us as we continue reviewing all sorts of things in the world of golf here at Michigan Golf Live.